So now, when that happens, if that happens, so on and so forth, now it becomes the blame game.
Here's the thing. As parents, we need to look at things from a perspective of responsive and not reactionary. We need to become more responsive as we handle each other and the children versus reactionary, right? Because to be conscious at all times of how that we are dealing with another human being's life. That is the key. That is what we are really supposed to be focused on. Right?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
at all times, it's about the betterment of the child.
Yes.
Not us. Right? We made the choice.
That's right.
So what are we going to do to be the adults in the situation? How many times do I see children mediating between parents? Like, really?
I see that a lot.
Right.
Tell your father, I said. Tell your mother, I said. And the kid, like, can I just be a child?
Right.
That's not cool. So yes, absolutely. I have seen that, and once again, calling a spade, did not like it at all. The whole blame game, the whole tug of war, and I'm realizing with this parenting thing, no one thinks about the child.
Right.
They always think about themselves. You know, pride is a mother, and with this pride thing.
It can be a father too.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Just keeping it real.
Yes, it can. Yes, and it can also, as it being a mother and a father, it can shatter the dreams of that child. I've seen. Well, I have met people that's in my age bracket that are single that will not. I repeat, will not get into a relationship or a marriage because of their parents.
Let's take a step further. Will not talk to their parents.
That too. Yes, because of being upset from
a life, like a absent parent.
Yes,
or a parent who was not responsive. And the stories that we tell each other, my dad didn't want me, my dad didn't love me, or mama didn't love me. When the truth of the fact is that maybe they didn't even really know what love is.
And you know what? You're right. And even on top of that, not knowing what love is, maybe they do know what love is, but they was taught the wrong way to love.
But what is is there a right or wrong way to love?
Well, I'm going to say yes, it's the wrong way to love. I love you, but I'm beating you up. That's the wrong way to love. I'm loving you, but I'm bashing you. That's the wrong way to love.
And where do those things start? Does it not start in thought, law of mind, action? Love hurts. Well, if law of love hurts, who actually determines what kind of pain it creates?
See, and I concur. I don't like that saying. Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is beautiful. Love is supposed to be peaceful, understanding, caring. All the greater things that go with love. Love should not hurt. Pain hurts. Things of that nature. But yeah.
Hold on. I think Masterminds. What did you say, Mastermind?
I said love is chaos. It's blissful insanity.
No. I'm just saying, I agree with you. I just think it's funny that this beautiful word that's called love can be chaos, can be confusion, turmoil. It can be pain. And when it comes down to parenting, in the beginning, the love word is thrown around like it's water, and it's not a cool thing to throw around the word love. And then 3, 6, 9 months later, the love is gone. Everybody hate each other, and now it's a tug of war thing.
In a relationship, right? Have we determined? So you meet, or I meet somebody. Have I sat down with them? Like, do you know that there's a book called that talks about the different ways of love out there?
No, I did not know that.
What's the name of the book? I can't remember it right now. But it's all about love and the different ways of how people show their love. Oh. So, for example, you might be a lover that gives gifts. I might be a lover who, I don't care about the gifts. I'm all about your time. So now you got 6 jobs out there. working to make sure that you can give me what I want, and I'm home crying saying, you don't spend no time with me, you don't love me. So you freaking out now. You're like, what? Does she not see I just bought
Oh
her
my
a Louis
gosh.
purse that I couldn't afford?
Yo,
What does she mean I don't love her?
Everyone.
Right? So
Yes,
it's about
yes.
the love language. What is your love language?
You
right?
know, that's
So
yes.
you have to really, again, it goes back to communication, how we communicate with each other. What are the expectations in a relationship? How are we setting up that relationship? What are the morals and values that we see, that we hold within ourselves? And what do we expect from a partner? Like, honestly and truly, if a woman was to walk up to you and say, hi, my name is Candy. I'm messed up. I have daddy issues. I can't cook. I can't clean. And I'm really just looking for somebody to take care of me. Will you do that? What you gonna say?
No. Now, today, this time, after our talk we had 2 weeks ago, because I did some thinking about that. No, I am not your daddy.
What about you, Mastermind?
Nah.
Right. Right.
That
How
long
many-
pause I took, right?
Yeah.
I wanted it to marinate.
But how many times do people get into relationships who deal with those exact issues, but they weren't placed on the table up front?
Sometimes you can you can recognize when people have, certain kinds of issues. You know what I'm saying? If you're paying enough attention to the person that you're dealing with, you'll notice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But once again, sometimes.
No, I understand that they hide.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
easy, because I'm a professional at it.
Practice makes perfect.
Sometimes it's easy to cover up the stuff that's wrong with you,
Yes.
so nobody outside can see it
Yep.
until they see you at the point where you're at your least. What's the word I'm looking for?
You're most vulnerable.
No, not even.
Okay.
When your concentration is broken and you let it slip out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because men and women, we both do it. We all
Yep.
do it. You put on a different person when it's the person you with. People be
Absolutely.
Like, I'm the same person. No,
No,
hell
you're not.
you're not.
No. We
Especially-
all wear
especially
masks.
Pre-sex.
Yep.
Especially pre-sex.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not the same. You're not you. You're not, you're not Sekou. You're not the Roze that your best friend who known you for 12 years knows.
Say word.
Or even that friend who's known you for 3 months knows. Because when you start diving into that part of it, that's when you start, you in catch mode.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure the bait is what it need to be in order for you to catch that prize.
Yep. Which again, that means you are now a car salesman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a real live game.
It is. It is. And that can play a horrible role in the whole co-parenting thing,
Yes,
or even the
it
parenting
does.
thing.
Because like I have a child, and you know what I mean? I'm lucky, to be in my situation that I'm in, to where co-parenting is I mean, we're a couple, so whatever. But when we have our little stints and we separate and we try to co-parent, I'm guilty of, the being extra. I won't necessarily like go take my daughter and none of that wild stuff. But what we all have to realize is, and that I've just come to the realization recently, is that all of our choices as parents affects our child.
Yes.
Yes.
Every
yes.
single one.
And people don't take that into consideration. Like, that you and your other person have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Those issues trickle down to your children.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be outright right in your face at first,
Mm-hmm.
or it turns into one of those things that pops up later in life.
Yeah.
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 Because most kids with anger issues
Yes.
stems from something going on with the parenting. Whether it be mom's really angry, dad's really angry, mom and dad are always fussing, and then this small child doesn't understand what's going on. So
Very
therefore,
true.
the lack of understanding, the only thing they know to do is to exhibit what they see, which is anger.
And yeah.
Right, and then the anger becomes the expression of love. Now we have a person who's watching here, Geraldine. Geraldine said that this is a one-sided conversation. Geraldine, if you would like to share your views on this topic, please feel free to call in 410-702-5657. We encourage people to join us by calling in so that we can share our opinion and so that you get to voice what you believe, so that we can see how that you can educate others and provide a different perspective that maybe we don't have.
Hey, how about I propose this to the people in the sound of my voice? If you have come to some kind of common ground with co-parenting, call in and share what it is that you guys did in order to find that balance. To
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all about no answer is wrong. No answer. Well, let me rephrase that. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But the common sense factor of it. We're not here to bash anybody, man or woman. We all trying to get a clear understanding to be the solution, not the problem. You understand? So, yeah, please give us a call. 410-702-5657. We want to share. We want y'all to share with us, some parenting tips. Because I ain't gonna front. I don't know everything.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning.
Oh
yeah. You just started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 3 kids in, and I still know everything.
Exactly, and you know what? My son is 20. And there's things that I learned recently that I wish I knew when he was 2.
Yep.
So there's always an opportunity to learn things. And even with learning that certain things that I've learned recently, I've implemented in our relationship, and it has shifted. Because here's the thing. As a single mom who grew up raised by a single mom, who grew up raised by a single mom, and now I'm being asked to raise a male, I didn't know what I was doing at that time. And I had to humble myself, lean on those who knew better, those who maybe were males as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I say that. I mean, I let all the women know you can take care of a man, but you can't show a man how to be a man.
You cannot show a man how to be a man.
You can't.
You cannot.
It's no way in the world.
There's no way. Because as a woman, you have no idea how to be a man.
Bomb.
As much as you understand how to be a provider. Being a provider and being a man are two different things.
Yeah, and I'll share this with you because my mother and I would get into arguments all the time because my mother is the typical West Indian Trinidadian mother.
I got one of those.
All right, school me because I don't have one of those.
So, she was very protective, especially of the males. The girls, and I found out later on it's a mindset. As a woman, she knew she made it. She knew she could take care of herself. She trusted women. So, go do your thing, you'll survive. But the boys now, they keep them very close. My mother did. Very, very close. My brother, well, he's still very close to her. And yeah, that's another story. But, I would do things like I would send my son to the store. He was 8. And I'd be like, okay, I need you to go pick up milk. I need you to get this. She would call me, that is child abuse.
But that's funny. Because
why didn't you drive him? You have a car. Why didn't you get up and go take him to the store? And she really took this on her head that I was being Americanized and doing things that were out of the norm. And I'm like, yeah, but boys need to learn to trust themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
And by allowing him to go to the store, which is on the same block, he's not even crossing the street. He is now learning that he can do this. Men learn, in my experience, boys learn by being experiential.
Yes.
That's why a father will take a child out in the middle of the lake and throw them off the boat and say swim.
Yep.
While a mother will put a child in a wading pool with the inflators,
goggles,
and she ain't moving. She's standing right there.
Yeah.
and
the stick. Like, all right, you right. I got you. Nah. That doesn't really show that. But yes. Yeah. But it's crazy though. Before we go to break, I'm gonna throw in there just me being an American with the two West Indians, Salik. It's so different because my mom was like, oh, see, I don't care where you at. I don't care where you go.
No, my mother was all for independence.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go nowhere.
Oh, see, you're right. At the age of 12, I was everywhere.
Nah.
On the subway by myself.
Nah.
Going to see girls. Yo.
I could walk to school. That was it.
Yo, my thing would be, I come in the door, boom. Your homework done? Yeah. I'll be back. I'm going so-and-so. Now, me being a father, where you going? Where you going to be with? Who you going to be with? What's going on?
Now, here's the interesting thing. My mother was like that with me, but not my brother. And not my son. When I used to have my mother watch my son, because I was working in the centers, I was working in the community centers, he would say, I'm a cat. Because he'd sit by the window and watch all the kids outside, and she wouldn't let him go outside. And let's not even talk about sleeping out. That wasn't even an option. And don't eat by nobody. I mean, it was just crazy. The whole different experience.
It is. From what I see, we have to go to commercial break. When we come back, I got some things that people said. We'll be back.
Stay tuned.
Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got my comedian Pandoras. Got my favorites, my Bill Burr. Among sorts. So I get all kinds of comedian that come through my my airwaves. And this one in particular, Chad Daniels, hilarious. He has this one joke where he talks about the things that he did, about how he messes with his son. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he did was he bought the the picture frames. Mm-hmm. He would buy picture frames, and he would leave them in there.
Like the stock photo that comes.
He would leave a stock photo in there, and so he would basically tell his son that he had to do some things, or he would be taken away or eaten or something, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the kid believed him. And whenever he got questioning, he would ask about the pictures. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was your brother," and he didn't listen.
Yo, that's foul. That's funny as hell, but that's foul.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
This is the reality
of
the world that we're living in. A lot of young people don't have the information that is necessary to have healthy lives. And a lot of the organizations that are geared towards young people don't have individuals that are going to be as honest as this gentleman.
One of the issues that I have with this quote-unquote Christian nation that we live in is that
not just the Christians,
religion allows you to live in denial, but the world does not live in denial. So who are you helping with your? All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm about to do something.
The reason I shrink that or take that away because it's people who are not religious. It's people who they're not giving their young people, or they don't have a person that could be that honest with them. I mean, we all have that. I know I had a mother like that.
There are.
Rather than
and it's been recently because I've recently had more interaction with teen mothers than I have in my whole life. I wasn't my mother wasn't a teen mother. Her mother was. She made sure none of her daughters were. So it was, in as I get older and working in certain areas, you tend to run into that. And one of the things that blows my mind is how often a teen mom does not talk to their child at all, period, much less their daughter that they had at 15, to say, these are the realities of sex. These are the realities of the choices that you can or cannot make. These are the realities. Like, how do you not, after going through it yourself, knowing the stress, the looks, how do you then turn and look at someone else and say, all right, good luck? I mean, this is your offspring. I'm sorry. I just get very emotional about that. It bothers me that there are a great deal of people.
If you missed last week's show of Weird Radio on BeExposedRadio.com, check out this flashback.
Because he's a family man.
Yeah, because we got somebody who wants to eat every day.
Absolutely.
More
you gotta
than
feed
once.
the kid, man.
Every day, more than one time.
Gotta keep the kid fed.
More than one time. He needs to be fed at least twice.
But I'm joined
He gets
by
a
Big
little
Mama
cranky
Amma.
if you don't. Have you met me? Yeah, he has no filter. So it's like it is really funny when I posted this the other day that I did not ever want to know this much about myself. Your children are you and whoever else you have made a child with, and then all of the people that are in that bloodline. So my son has so much, because he comes from a long line of extremely intense individuals. Not necessarily dramatic, but I will, because some of them were just grumpy and mean, so I can't say dramatic. But intense, I think, covers that whole spectrum. Like some seriously intense, hardcore people. So he's so much, man. If he's hungry, you can always tell because he'll be, what's wrong with you? Are you hungry? Okay, why didn't you just say that? Why did you try to hit me? That wasn't.
That would drive me crazy. Like, use your words, bro. Use your damn words.
You can say that all day. When that switch flips, you are no longer talking to a human being. You are talking to an emotional animal.
That's why I don't want kids though. So I know my side of the family. I know me and my side of the family. So whatever female I decide to mate with, if they batshit crazy,
it's just gonna
be a little demon child.
That's how he talks.
Yeah. So.
But they're fun.
No,
like he's a hater. I'll say that. My son is a hater. If you're having a really good time, he gonna figure out how to shit on it. Absolutely.
Now we got.
But hey, Easy, go away. What? Is that how you just woke up?
You know enough of sleeping. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BeExposedRadio.com, and you are tuned in to Reclaiming Self with Roze and Sekou. Yep. Watch us every Wednesday from 5 to 7. Please feel free to contact us on Facebook, Rose Garden on Facebook, or like our page, Reclaiming Self Radio Show. And Sekou, what's your Facebook?
My Facebook is Sekou 7 Sounds Evans. And 7 is the words of 7. And Sounds is SOUNDZ. And Evans.
No S. That's a Z. Like
yep.
Rose. So thank you. Actually, that's like Rose.
It's like
Rose is
Rose.
ROZE.
This is... Let me find out. International in the building.
Tomato. I apologize.
I love it. Oh, man. As we went on break, we had some comments, and I thank y'all for comment, on this parenting thing. Miss Geraldine Lewis, she said, I am a single parent of a male child, and I keep positive men in his life, church, coaches, and also male teachers. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Being that single mom, yes, it's always good to have versatility in men. Because, and when I mean that, as in each man is different, so that child can take something positive from each man. Also, McLean Couch, Jamal McLean, and also Keita McLean.
Shout out to y'all.
Thank y'all for commenting. And they said basically that there are different variables on why people love the way they love. You have your cultural differences, environmental differences, depending on who raised you. Lots of us go off of examples of what we perceive what is love. Love is an irrational emotion, so love is based on your feelings. So there's no right or wrong way to love. It is what you accept and what you think you deserve. Thank you, McLean Couch, for sharing your thoughts. Beautiful. You know, we still got more people. You know, what you think about this parenting? Give us a call, 410-702-5657. I do know being a parent and co-parent, actually being a parent with 3 different mothers, it also can be a hassle. So
you have 3 children?
Yes.
With 3 different women?
Yes.
Duh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk
21,
the things,
16,
Duh.
21, 16, and 9. 10. Sorry, she's 10. She just turned 10. So it's hard.
Duh.
Yeah, but see, a lot of cats don't think it's hard. They think it's easy. Cause, you'll be amazed how some men think. It's easy because my oldest daughter live with me. My son doesn't live with me, and neither does my youngest daughter. So I still have to abide by 3 different sets of rules.
Okay.
Which can get confusing, which can get irritating, which can get frustrating. Because, you know, in your house, it's your rules. I'm now trying to do the thing whereas that if mommy had these certain set of rules, I had these certain set of rules too.
Here, I'm sorry, the coach in me is kind of...
Come on. Thank you.
Coming up here. So
welcome back, coach. Put me in the game, coach. What's up?
Okay, so I'd like to examine that for a second, okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you, because we are on air, I don't want you calling names and not like calling out.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So let's keep this, and at any point we can look at it as a hypothetical situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be your personal circumstances.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So what I would ask is, from your experience, what is one rule that was different in her household versus yours, that within you it just didn't sit well, that you felt the need to reprogram your child every time they came by you?
Talking back.
Okay.
The sassiness. The grown, put your hands on your hip, shake your head. Yeah, it grinds my gears. Eating habits.
Okay.
I am a big, huge fan of eating healthy. You have to have your starch, your vegetables, and if you eat a meat, your meat. But you have to have your vegetables. And that was the problem. Because some moms be like, you eat whatever. I'm not about that.
Okay. So thank you for sharing. So let's look at that. Mm-hmm. The sassiness. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. What did you make up about your child coming back to you with this sassy behavior? Breathe. I want you to hear the question. The question is, what did you make up within yourself about that sassy behavior?
What I got out of it, or what I made up out of myself was...
here's my experience of it was...
Okay, well, my experience of it was, more or less, you know, being though that I know the mom made a huge impression on the child. Okay,
so what I'm hearing you say is that the mom made a huge impression on the child. Can you further elaborate on what that means?
Yes. Being though that children are sponges, mm-hmm. and as crazy as it is, if it looks negative, it looks good, it looks fun. So when child is in the environment of adults, and the adults are sassing each other, mm-hmm. and then the adults pick with that child, and then the child sass back, and that's so cute, until a certain age, then it's an issue. So I nipped that in the bud from day one.
Okay,
a lot of parents do that.
I hear both Sekou and MadMan agreeing on this point. So here's my question at hand. Is that same sassy behavior displayed by the mother? Mm-hmm. Just, I want a one-word answer.
Yes.
Is that same sassy behavior displayed by the grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the truth. We cannot teach what we do not know. This is a pattern and pathology that exists in how these people live, which existed when you met her. So technically, it's not so much that I am not going to put up with that in my presence more than it is to have a conversation. Because a daughter, especially a daughter, you ever watch how children will mimic a parent?
That's what I was saying. Yes.
So the child, innocently, within her core, is mimicking what she sees to be good behavior because my mom's doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
I got this. I'm like my mama, right? Because that's what they aspire to be.
Yes.
Right? Children do as they see, not as they're told.
Absolutely.
So when correcting a child who is displaying a behavior that does not necessarily work with how you see things based upon your experience and realities, how you address that child is very important.
Oh, yes.
Because if you address the child from a perspective of you can't what happens is you implement shame and guilt in the child.
Yes.
When you implement that shame and guilt in the child, you are teaching the child to withhold information from you as a parent.
Absolutely. And when that situation did come up in my life,
so hold on, I'd like to take it back a little bit,
Bring it back.
and I'd like for you to let me know what you heard me say.
I heard you say everything. I listened to you. I heard you say everything.
I know. So here's one of the things, because we're kind of doing like a semi kind of coaching thing here. How somebody hears something is not always what was said. So when I'm asking you, what did you hear me say? I actually want you to tell me what you heard me say so that I can make sure that if there's any area where I need to provide clarity, I can.
Okay.
It's just, and I'm going to sidetrack for a minute. It's just like you may see a girl and you might be like, yo, Ma, you look thick. And she heard you say she looked fat. Different perceptions. People have different ways of hearing things.
Yeah,
so my question to you in this moment is, what did you hear me say?
I heard you say that when it comes down to that child coming back and mimicking their mom, instead of scolding and pushing them down, that really causes an issue within that child to withhold information from that parent.
What it does is it builds shame and guilt, because now this child feels that they went from feeling like they're doing something good to feeling like they did something wrong. So it instills in them, I'm doing something wrong. And that's a big thing for children, the guilt. Oh my God, I'm being bad, right? Okay.
But in that case, like you say, if they don't know, that's something. But 9 times out of 10, I will say this, children are more smarter than what we give them credit to. They know what's to be done and what's not to be done.
Okay, hold on. Please elaborate on what you're saying, because you're saying, but I'm getting this clear here. So what you're saying to me is that the child is aware of their behaviors.
What I'm saying is children are smarter than what we think they are. Children understand things a whole lot more quicker than what we perceive them to understand. Children know when something is right and when something is wrong. But once again, that's the child that knows. Now, the child that don't know, yes, we cannot quote unquote fault them. Now, the child that do know from experience, or not even from experience, like I stated in the beginning, they're mimicking. Oh, that is so cute. But then, as soon as that cuteness turns around on that parent, then they're getting scolded.
Yeah, but you're holding the child responsible for something that has nothing to do with them, because what you first said was 9 out of 10 times the child knows. But now you've reverted to the parent.
I said 9 out of 10. I said children. We give children not enough credit. They're smarter than what we think they are.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Kids know right from wrong. And I've actually seen it. Huh?
There's a level of that.
Yeah, yes.
Because, having an adult comprehension of a situation.
Thank you.
And having a child's comprehension is different.
Yes.
Mind you.
Yes.
But there's a level of, I know that if I say this, somebody might get mad. You know what I mean? Or I might get yelled at if I do that. from experience, like you said, because we've been put in this situation before. My smart, brilliant child, you know that you're not supposed to do this, correct? And if they can respond to you clearly, or if you can give your child, like with my daughter, I know lately I've been having to like scold her a little more because she's getting defiant, which I expect because I was defiant. Her mother's defiant. I expect it. But when your child is smart enough to grasp the concept of what you're giving to them, because what a lot of people don't realize, and what I notice when I see on the streets or whatever, is some parents don't, like, they assume that their child has the same level of comprehension that they do.
I agree with that.
And
yes.
then that's when you see the parents wilding their kids out.
Like, you should really know better. Yeah.
For doing stuff that kids do.
Yes. Now, yes.
And I agree with you, Mastermind. And to further that, a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of the issues in today's society is that children don't get to be children anymore.
I agree with that.
Right? But it's based on the mindset that they should know better. Right? I mean, there was a time when I was a little girl, if you went into a corner store, if you were 5 or 6 or whatever, and you went into a corner store and you took a little piece of gum and, and the store owner caught you, they would call your parent.
Right.
They would explain to you that, what you did was wrong. Now they want to call you police and have you arrested.
Yes.
That's because society.
That's society.
But that is society. Yes. But it's based upon the same mindset that we do not see children as children anymore. Right. We see them as young adults. Right? And a lot of that is that they're exposed to a lot of things that they should not be exposed to. And so we really have to begin to see them in their innocence. There was a lot of things with my son that I was really kind of like hard on him on. And now I look back, I'm like, really? And it's funny because like things would happen and my mom would be like, oh, just leave him, just leave the child. And I'd be like, what? She didn't say that when I was growing up. Right?
Yes.
And I would get upset. I'd be like, oh, and now I get it. Because if I had him at this age with the experience that I have, I would be screaming the same thing, leave the child. And that's why if you look at a woman who has children with large ages between them, you'll see the difference from the first child to the last child. Because they mother differently based upon experience. Because you realize that children are innocent. They really don't know. They're not doing this to upset you or to offend you. They're really doing it from a place of innocence.
Which is supposed to be, yeah. But, I mean, once again, I both agree with y'all, first and foremost. But still, in the fact of the matter, yes, children are innocent. But children can also, they learn. Like you said, they're sponges. So, when it comes down to a child learning something that is incorrect, no, you do not scold that child because the whole guilt thing and being ashamed. But the thing is, as parents, you need to learn how to speak with your child, speak to your child. Don't speak down to your child. Because me growing up, I'm just only speaking on me growing up, I was always that child that always got in trouble. I was never considered a innocent child. From the womb up until adulthood, I was a bad child. Which I think is funny because I was being a child. But I got scolded and I know right from wrong. And that's all it is, children can be children. Parenting, you have to come together and understand that this is a child. But at the end of the day, if mom is doing something and the child is mimicking that, all mom got to say is, no, baby, you can't do that.
Yeah, but how are you expecting mom to call the child on something that she doesn't see wrong?
No, right. But
no, wait, hold on. I want you to really hear what I said.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
I was about to go ahead and say it. Just because that mother might not know that is wrong, if the foundation is there, it may not be the mom. It could be grandmom. It could be aunt. It could be sister. Somebody within that core has the sense to say, wait a minute, baby, let me stop you. Let's do this first. Let's show you how to be a woman. Let's show you how women walk. You're not supposed to walk with all this. No. Why? Because, kids always ask that question why and always used to get bashed for asking why. No. They ask why because they do not know. That's the innocent part. Why? Because it's this out here. It's that out here. And let's be called a spade a spade. I hate to say it because it sounds like my parents back in the day. Times has changed from back then and now. So you have to make them more aware without scolding them, without making them feel ashamed about who they are. You know, that's all I was going to say. You know,
My
so
whole thing is when it comes to child rearing, in my opinion,
say it again.
I think that as parents in this new day and age, we need to return innocence back to our children.
Yes.
I agree. Yes. Now, how do you do that?
That is a great question. Everybody has their own, way about that. But when I say return innocence back to the children, it's that our children are because mainstream TV has changed a lot since we
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it was a lot of things that you couldn't see on daytime
Time
regular
Yes,
TV
yes.
that you see now.
Mhm.
Right? So and then what happens with parents is that they get tired of watching all of the children's stuff. So then they watch what they want to watch, not knowing that the child is picking up 15 times more stuff from the show that mommy's watching than the show that mommy put on for her or him to watch.
Yes.
Let's take it even a step further. How many times do people have grown people conversation
In
and
front
you got
of children.
little Jackie sitting in the corner pretending like she's coloring, and then you catch her in her room with her cousins and she has got that conversation down verbatim. Every word that was said in that
Yes.
room.
And how about the one where same scenario, little Jackie in the corner, and next thing you know, Jackie say, well, da 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 da. Like, Jackie, who was talking to you? But some parents be like, oh yeah, let them join into the conversation. No.
Excuse me. I just think that I'd say like after the 80s, it's like I'm gonna say after like 88,
89, 88.
parents have progressively been getting younger.
Yes.
So, and then on top of that, you have a young parent with an older parent that's not minding them properly. So your child which was half raised, now is a parent half raising another child. So the things that what's a good way I could? It's like the stuff that you as the adult that you are now, but when you had that kid young, it was certain stuff you would let go because your brain is still in that child adolescent mind when you had a kid, and you weren't a full complete adult. You had to become a full complete adult while trying to help raise another person.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that makes some kind of distortion in the mix. I can't quite name it yet. I haven't developed a name for it yet.
But it's true though.
But
Yeah.
there's a distortion in that that comes from young parents raising young children. So young-minded ideals and young-minded things that matter to a younger person and to an older person aren't the same.
Ain't the same. You're right.
But then when you have a young person who hasn't quite gotten grips on life and an understanding of how life actually is, the real kind of life, raising another person with that half-seen thing, and now we have, 30-year-old grandmas.
Yeah.
Say word. Yo, yes. I just ran into one of my exes out of Arundel Mills, and she like, I'm a grandmother. I'm like, we're still young. What happened? But yeah, you're right. From 89, 88, 89 up. Yeah.
Like, it be parents that be like 12 years older than their children type stuff. You know what I mean? That's not, call me crazy. But, I think you being 30 and having a 20-year-old child, I think that's too close.
Well, 30, 33, 32.
Still
right?
too close. Still 10 years.
It is still
10 years.
I'm
Yes.
just saying that's like,
Babies having babies?
Yeah,
babies,
because
that's too close.
let's see.
Because the understanding that you have now as a 30-year-old is the understanding. My opinion, I'm not saying
No,
I'm
right.
like nobody else, but the understanding that you have now as your 30 plus year old self, you need that understanding. You should have had that understanding when that baby was a little baby.
Yes.
That way you don't grow up and have somebody, like, especially because kids is growing up huge.
Yeah.
So now you got a 20-year-old child, twice your size.
Yep.
And they think just like you do.
Yep.
Because the child does not grow up as your child. The child grows up as your friend,
Yeah.
Or sibling,
your sister, or
Yeah.
something.
You know
There's
what I mean?
that type
Or
of dynamic
the-
where it's like that becomes your best friend. I
Yeah.
see it a lot of times with young mothers. I actually know somebody who her grandmother had her mother at 14. She had my girlfriend at 13. So by the time my girlfriend had reached, what was it, like 15, her grandmother was not even in her 50s yet. Like,
Right.
that's insane to
Just
me.
like I know some folks that are older or the same age as aunts and uncles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or like I know some 26-year-old grandparents.
Madness.
How the hell are you 26 and a grandparent?
Yo. Yeah.
That's
But it's
all
the same.
from-
But you have to understand.
That's from the young child raising a young
child. Yeah, because-
all of the restrictions that got put on you,
Mhm.
you don't want to do that to your child because you don't want to be that way. But in all actuality, those are the things that help
made
create
you.
a productive member
Yes.
of society.
Yep.
But then you gotta look at it for what it is, right? Children do what? As they see, not as they're
They do.
told,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to go to break right now. Please feel free to join us in this conversation, 410-702-5657. You are in the middle of Reclaiming Self with Roze and Sekou and MadMan.
We'll be back.
You use tearless baby shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. That's safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad
Hey, what's
Council.
up, everybody? It's Monty from Talk Lately. I want y'all to sit back and listen to this flashback. We be tripping. Since he did
I
that.
mean, really, but I mean, he might have. I got him maybe jacking her up,
The kids said he did it.
but this is Floyd Mayweather punching her head repeatedly, and like she doesn't have like brain damage. Or anything.
No, she wasn't had brain damage. I don't think he was hitting her like that. Or he probably was like, say something else. Say something else.
That
He probably wasn't like tagging her.
Right.
He probably was just like, and the kids was like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
Why do they have the accent? Why? Why do his kids have the accent?
I just pictured them looking like Africans. Oh. I didn't want to have to admit that. I don't know what they're going to do about my mouth, but just check out the show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's more of the same right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Lakeisha White says, a place I can go and Mika always gets my look right. Alicia Curry says, when you go to purchase one thing and you leave with everything. The Style Lounge, assisting in capturing your true fashion personality. From classic to maverick, we have exactly what you need. Make an appointment today for a personal styling session, which includes one-on-one program.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the...
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Reclaiming Self with Roze and Sekou.
Welcome back.
I thank all of you for joining us today.
Yes.
We're going to be wrapping up. We're going to continue this conversation next week.
Yes,
Those of you who tuned in this week, we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
Feel free to reach out to myself or Sekou. I think there's a lot here for us to explore
It is.
and examine.
It is.
And even like, you know what, do you want some notes or some pointers on parenting? Because we can put it on the like page. Anything that you guys desire, let us know. We can put it up there to support you guys in the community.
I'm telling y'all, me being a man, don't know everything. And I know it's a lot of women out here, just as well as a lot of men out here, that are parents that don't know everything. So how about we be that village again and share notes? The game is supposed to be told, not sold. Let's share.
And just to say, you know, Sekou just said, be the village again. We never stopped being the village. We just forgot.
You know what?
So let's stand in that.
Let's stand, yeah. Let's remember to be that village.
Right.
Yes.
Or how about this?
What's up?
I'm going to give it to you one time.
Yes, that's much.
We all still a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to change the ideals of the village.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Necessarily, we stop. Because when there's some BS going on, everybody ain't mobbed together.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we need to,
yeah.
instead of focusing on all the negative and all of the unproductive things that folks do, we need to switch that around and start focusing on the better half.
Let's change our mind state.
I love it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, same time, 5 to 7. Thank you, Sekou.
Thank you,
Mastermind.
Roze. Thank you, Mastermind.
Love you all.
I love you.
Have a great week.
See you next week. I'm going to replay this again so you can watch it.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every